Okay, you just bought this new game called Overwatch. Actually, it's already a year old, so never mind. You bought this year-old game, year and a half old game called Overwatch, and you're playing competitive, and you really want to get to the top 500. Oh, the paper scared me. I was moving my foot up and down, like bouncing my foot on a piece of paper on the ground, and I heard some weird noises. I was like, what's going on down there? Okay, well, today I'm going to tell you how I gained... How much SR did I gain? I think I gained 400 SR in 2 days on Overwatch Competitive. Now, how did I do it? Easy. I'm going to explain it to you right here, right now. So, I'll give you a little bit of background how this all happened. Every single season I play Overwatch, I end up placing in gold. So the first season I played, which was season 3, I placed low gold, pushed through gold up to platinum, and finished in the very bottom platinum, I believe. My second season, which is season 4, I ended up placing mid-gold or low gold, and pushed through gold into platinum, and just stopped there. Third season, which is the 5th season, I placed in high gold, and managed to push through all the platinum, and with the 1 month remaining on season 5, I pushed halfway through diamond, and then dropped everything. But I have a very good reason for it. I stopped playing for like a week and a half, and I got really, really rusty. So, today I'm going to tell you how I managed to gain that 400 SR in 2 days. Not 1 day, 2 days. So 200 a day. So, at the time, I was around halfway through platinum-ish. So, yeah. I was about halfway through platinum, which at the time was like the most I've ever done. I constantly was dropping down into gold, losing games like crazy, and I blamed my other teammates. So, I was a Reaper main. I liked to play Reaper on attack, and I was playing Junkrat on defense. And I just played like that. Now, at the time, I never thought that I might be a problem or anything. I thought that I had it all figured out, that I just keep solo queuing and doing everything, and I thought it'd all work out. Well, it wasn't working out, and I don't know why I never tried to change anything. But here's what did happen. I actually one day looked up some videos on tips and tricks of Reaper. I found a little bit of how to play him sneakier and dirtier, to the point of pouncing and lurking. You can check out the video where I talk about that kind of stuff. And I felt like I was doing a better job as a DPS and becoming even better. I was getting gold medals like every single game for elims. It felt amazing. So I got better at Reaper, and I still was losing games, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, today you're here to learn what I have to say about all that, how to win more games, and here it is. Step 1. I want you to play some competitive games, figure out who your main really is. Now, when I say that, when I was playing Reaper, I liked maining Reaper and then defense maining Junkrat, which at the time seemed like a good idea to me. But then, one day, I realized some people, they'll play defense and attack with the same person. They'll play Maze on attack and Maze on defense, or they'll play Reapers on attack and Reapers on defense. So I thought I'd give it a try. And it allowed me to spend and put a lot more time into Reaper, get a lot more practice in, and just become better at the character altogether. I mean, I didn't suck, but it allowed me to learn some new things about him. It allowed me to try some new things. It just made everything so much easier. So, and he was probably the character that I'm best at. So by playing him and being comfortable with him, which is probably more important than trying to counter someone, just being comfortable with the person you're playing as. Because think about it, if I'm supposed to go let's say, Reaper Oh, that's a bad example because I'm a Reaper main. Say there's a Pharah, and I'm not comfortable playing a Soldier or McCree because I'm not really good at hit scan, or any hit scan, for instance. Well, it'd be probably a lot better for me to play someone like Reaper, who I'm pretty good at, compared to someone like McCree, who can probably take down the Pharah pretty easily, but struggles to do everything else. I mean, when you think about it, being able to get other picks is important too, not just the one Pharah. If say I'm playing as a Reaper, and I get 3 picks, and then there's a Pharah, other than those 3 picks. Well, I'm still getting 3 picks, but the Pharah's too much trouble for us. So I switched to Soldier, but I'm not good at Soldier, which doesn't seem right because he's like one of the easier characters. So I kill the Pharah, but then what? If I can't deal with the rest of the team, I just keep dying. Then we're only getting 1 pick compared to the 3. So you want to find someone who's not doing enough or is willing to switch and feels comfortable with playing Soldier. But that's how I say it to you, is make sure you're playing someone you're comfortable with. Don't try and... I've seen so many people main, like, say, a Pharah, and then they have Genji and McCree, and then all of a sudden they start playing Reaper, and I get confused because they only have 5 minutes on Reaper as to my, like, 50 hours, and I'm just questioning if they're qualified to play Reaper, and they don't do that great of a job. And I don't understand why they picked Reaper in the first place. Now, moving on from the whole idea of choosing the right main and everything, now I want to talk to you about how to become a better person at that character, a player. Well, it might not be your fault. It might be your fault that you're doing poorly. So what I advise you to do is try and do everything in your power to win, meaning go to Twitch and watch people in top 500 or master or grandmaster. Watch them stream on Twitch and see what they do as your character. See, okay, they go this way. They do it like this. This is how they do this. This is how they do this. This is what they use this for. See everything they do. And try to use that knowledge and all of that to do it. Look for the best person in the world at your character. Look up tips and tricks of your character and see if you can use those to become a better player and use that to win more games, because it will help. Even if it's just a little bit that helps you get like 2 more picks, it's better than getting the same amount of picks every single game that's causing you to lose. Now, here is one thing that I really never thought about, but was really surprised by. One day I was playing a game, and there was a Bastion main and like a Mercy or something, and we decided to group up after a game. And I normally am not one to group up with everybody. I just let them go off on their own and I solo queue. Well, one thing I didn't think about is, if you win a game and your team is just amazing, you should try and group up with them. Why? Well, think about it. If your team is really good, the more players that you can get grouped up onto one team, the less players you actually have to find in matchmaking. That's already, like, say you have 3 of you in a group and you're really good. That's half of a team that's good. You only have to hope for 3 more people who are good. Or you hope for 2 more people that are good. Maybe you just need 1 more person that's good. It takes a lot of the pressure off just of matchmaking. Matchmaking can be very unreliable for you. I ended up playing 2 games in a row with someone who just threw. Literally, he came into the game and just immediately played Hanzo, and then someone took Hanzo from him, so he immediately played Widow. And then the very next game, he actually ended up throwing Ven too. So I was getting really angry that I just kept matchmaking with this guy who didn't care to win. So if you actually end up finding these people, what I recommend doing is waiting like 3 minutes or so, and that gives them enough time to end up in a game already, and then you avoid playing with them entirely. You could try and play with them and hope that they end up on the other team, but the odds of that, for me, are like always really way too low. Now, this idea of matchmaking to the point where you already have a team, a good team, like half of a good team, it really does help. We knew we had a good Reaper, and we knew we had a good Bastion, and then we knew we had a good healer. We were able to use that, and they were like low platinum, and I was mid platinum, so they managed to push me up not push me up, we pushed each other up, we pushed up together, but together, we pushed me up to just like 5 away from Diamond. Then we lost the game and I stopped playing because I had to go. But they ended up getting like halfway through Platinum, and it was amazing how much we had managed to do. So the next day I got on, and I thought maybe I should try and play with someone, maybe I shouldn't, whatever. So I started solo queuing, and then I ended up in a good game with a whole bunch of these really good guys. They were all talking, and we ended up queuing together at one point, and we had a whole entire team queued together. And we did so well, and then we played one game and lost, and I managed to get halfway through Diamond before that game. And it felt so amazing to be able to be in that giant team. We knew we had a good team that could dominate against almost any team until that one team. And that's what helped us get there. Not only did we have the motivation and the morale to go in there and play, knowing that we were going to have a good chance of winning, but we also had the idea of we already had a good team. So together, all of that ended up helping us get better winning odds. I think there's one more thing that I think I need to talk about in terms of the whole getting more SR and everything. Now, Overwatch has seen a ton of toxicity or toxicness or whatever you want to call it. Just too many people being toxic. What does that mean? That means, let's say you're sitting there playing and this one guy's not doing too great and he just starts trash talking every single person on your team. Maybe you guys aren't doing that good and he's doing amazing and he trash talks you. He's just being toxic. It doesn't help. Sometimes it does help to insult people and say, hey, you guys need to take it up a notch. But it doesn't in way too many cases. I mean, it's very rare that it ends up helping. I mean, you can joke around and it doesn't have that big of an effect. But if you're sitting there trash talking your team on the mic, just delete the game. It's not going to help. And if you are those people who just rage quit or leave, please don't. It ruins the game for everybody. If you're going to do this, just go to quick play. If you're going to play people who suck and you're going to do that, just leaving before the game's over, just go to quick play. Please, spare us all the pain. But the thing is, if you're being so toxic to someone, then it ruins everything. I mean, there are so many people that will they're not going to listen to you. They're going to mute you. It just doesn't help anything or anyone accomplish anything. It just makes your entire team hate you. I mean, I've seen plenty of people who are good at the game go in and they're complaining about how they're on a losing streak. Or maybe they suck and they're complaining how they're on a losing streak. And what's the one thing they all have in common? They're extremely toxic players. Their SR just drops like crazy because all they do is complain about their team and they yell at people and they think they're the best player there is. Well, I can tell you this. There's going to be someone out there who's better than them. And it could be you. All because of one reason. You're not toxic like them. So, yeah. That's just about all I have today to tell you about some tips and tricks for gaining more SR in Overwatch. they're very useful things to think about. Just improving yourself as you can, getting that team to the point where you know you're going to have a good team set up. They're not carrying you. You're not carrying them. You guys are not really carrying anybody. You guys are working together to get up there. And it does really, really help. And I know when some games end, you look at your SR at the end of them and you say, wow, I got 2 SR. Well, it's okay. We all ended up at that point at some point in time. So, just keep playing. Don't let the amount of SR hurt you. You're going to lose like 50 per loss, and then you're going to win like 10 per win. It's always messed up. But, it's just how that kind of thing seems to work. So, if you do enjoy Overwatch, and you want to watch some more videos of Overwatch or anything, I am doing a few videos on tips and tricks of certain players, seeing what I can find online and from playing with them, what I can do to improve everybody else and make videos on it. And if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and to leave a like down below if it helped as well. And hopefully I'll talk to you guys next time. Hope to see you around. Bye.